The Church of Christ with the Elijah Message, also known as the Church of Christ with the Elijah Message, established Anew 1929, is a denomination of the Latter-day Saint movement, headquartered in Jackson County, Missouri, which split from the Church of Christ, informally referred to as the Fettingites, in 1943 in a dispute over claimed revelations given to its founder William A.Draves.Draves, an elder in the Fettingite group, claimed to be receiving messages from an angelic being who identified himself as John the Baptist, the same person who had allegedly appeared to Fettingite founder Otto Fetting, a former apostle of the Church of Christ, informally referred to as the Church of Christ and the Temple Lot Church. While many Fettingites accepted these new missives, some did not, leading Draves to form his own church. His adherents claimed that to be the sole legitimate continuation of Fetting's organization, as well as that of the Temple Lot Church. As of 1987, the church had approximately 12,500 adherents spread between Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia, and the Americas. Origin of name. The church's name originates in the alleged visitations of John the Baptist to Otto Fetting and William Draves. In Matthew chapter 11 verse 14, Jesus Christ identifies John with the prophet Elijah in the book of Malachi, hence the use of Elijah message. Malachi chapter 4 verses 5 to 6 says, "Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. And he shall turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to the fathers, lest I come and smite the land with a curse." Members believe that the purported visits of this messenger fulfill Malachi's prophecy, as well as others found in Revelation chapter 14 verse 6, Malachi chapter 3 verse 1, Deuteronomy chapter 18 verses 15 to 19, and Daniel chapter 7 verses 9 to 10. History. Otto Fetting was born on the 20th of November 1871 in Casco, St. Clair County, Michigan. Making his home in Port Huron, Michigan, he was baptized into the reorganized Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints on February 9, 1891, and ordained to its priesthood in 1899. In 1925, dismayed by the Supreme Directional Control controversy within the RLDS Church, Fetting switched his allegiance to the Temple Lot organization. At the time, this did not require rebaptism or reordination, as each group accepted the priesthood and sacraments of the other. In the spring of 1926, he was among 7 men ordained to be apostles in the Church of Christ. On February 4th of 1927, Otto Fetting claimed that he had been visited by John the Baptist, and that he had delivered a message for him to relay to the Temple Lot organization. This missive directed construction of the long-awaited temple in Independence, Missouri, first foretold by Latter-day Saint founder Joseph Smith in 1831. The Temple Lot Church had a long history of direction via revelation and angel visits, and thus was originally receptive to these alleged visits of the biblical prophet, publishing Fetting's messages in the monthly periodical Zion's Advocate. They also began work on the temple with a groundbreaking ceremony held on the 6th of April 1929. According to Fetting, the Fettingites were given 7 years to complete the structure. Fetting's visit revealed various architectural details for the building, and specifically directed surveyors to move the markers 10 feet to the east of where they had originally been placed. The angel also revealed the location of 2 of Joseph Smith's original marker stones, which Smith had buried 98 years before to indicate the location location for his planned temple. He also indicated that the articles of faith and practice of the temple lot church were correct, and should not be changed from their original form. On other occasions, the messenger indicated particular men to be ordained within the organization, including to its quorum of 12 apostles. Trouble on the temple lot. Although the temple lot organization had enthusiastically accepted the first 11 of Fetting's messages, this would not hold true for the 12th. In verse 4 of this missive, John the Baptist states that all persons coming into the Church of Christ must be rebaptized, as the Lord has rejected all creeds and factions of men. While this reflects the practice of the majority of Latter-day Saint denominations, it did not reflect the policy of the Temple Lot Church at the time, which accepted members during this period from the reorganized church. Certain other Latter-day Saint organizations, and Joseph Smith's pre-1844 church on their original baptisms. This message equally declared Fetting to have been given the same keys to the priesthood that were given to Joseph Smith and Oliver Cowdery on May 15, 1829. Controversy over the meaning and application of Fetting's 12th message became so great that Fetting himself was silenced in October 1929 by the Temple Lot organization, choosing to withdraw rather than continue under such a restriction. Fetting led approximately half of the Church of Christ members to found an organization of his own, which became known as the Church of Christ. Since the main Temple Lot organization retained possession of the Temple Lot and its meeting house, Fetting's organization met in members' homes for a considerable period prior to building their own worship facilities. Fetting would be visited a total of 30 times by his messenger prior to his death on the 30th of January 1933. William A.Draves. 4 years after Fetting's death, a young Fettingite elder named William A.Draves from New, Colorado claimed that the same messenger who had appeared to Fetting had begun to appear to him as well. While the Fettingite organization was initially receptive to these new missives, it ultimately decided to reject them all, leading to a split in the Fettingite organization in 1943. Draves' adherents formed the Church of Christ with the Elijah message, which claims to be the sole legitimate continuance of Fetting's original organization. Draves himself received a total of 90 messages prior to his death in 1994, which were combined with Fetting's into a book entitled The Word of the Lord Brought to Mankind by an Angel. Fetting's organization publishes its own compendium, simply entitled The Word of the Lord, which contains only Fetting's original 30 messages, doctrine and practices, other than their acceptance of Fetting's 30 messages, and a 90 offered by William Draves. The beliefs and practices of the Elijah Message organization are virtually identical to those of the Church of Christ. In common with the Temple Lot Church, the Elijah Message Church rejects the office of President of the Church, being led instead by the quorum of 12 apostles. All members of that quorum are considered equal. Also, like the Temple Lot cousins, the Church rejects the Doctrine and Covenants and the Pearl of Great Price, as well as Joseph Smith's inspired version of the Bible, preferring to use only the King James Bible and the record of the Nephites as standards. They also await an as yet unrevealed work of Scripture which the messenger was alleged to have shown to Draves in 1946. Baptism for the dead, eternal marriage, polygamy, and the eternal progression doctrine are all rejected. Members of the Church of Christ with the Elijah Message still believe that a temple will be reared on the Temple Lot. but it will not be like any of the LDS, a Community of Christ temples currently in use. In verse 6 of his 12th message, Otto Fetting quoted John the Baptist as allegedly saying that Joseph Smith had indeed been a true prophet, but that he sinned before God due to pride and the love and praise of men. Much of his work has been destroyed, wrote Fetting, but he will be saved as by fire, and will be numbered with the prophets of old. Accordingly, the Elijah Message Church respects Joseph Smith as a prophet, but does not necessarily accept all of his teachings. In verse 1 of his first message, Fetting's heavenly envoy commanded that the articles of faith and practice of the Temple Lot organization were to remain unchanged, because the Lord inspired the men that wrote them. Hence these remain the same in the Elijah Message organization, as well as within all Fettingite sects.